On a humid night, deep in an Ecuadorian rainforest called Waska Amazonia, a group of naturalists crouched beside a leaf and convinced themselves they were looking at a corpse. A small, fungus covered spider clung motionless to the underside of a leaf. Its pale body had two stalk like fungal growths rising from its abdomen. This is a common scene in the Amazon. Spiders and insects are routinely hijacked by parasitic fungi that sprout from their bodies after destroying their organs. What they had not expected was for the corpse to move. One of the naturalists, Alexander Bentley, had spent enough time in the jungle to recognize the pale fruiting bodies of Gibellula, a genus of fungus that infects and kills arachnids. He reached out to collect it, and the fungus moved. The fungus, in other words, was not a fungus at all. It was a spider so convincingly disguised it had fooled a team of biologists at point-blank range. That single encounter has resulted in a strange species description. In a paper published in February 2026 in the journal Zootaxa, biologists David Diaz-Guevara, Alexander Bentley, and Nadine Dupere formally described Taczanowskia waska, the first arachnid formally documented to mimic a fungus. The spider belongs to the family Araneidae, the orb weavers, the group of spiders responsible for the classic large garden webs. But Taczanowskia do not build webs at all. Instead, they are ambush predators, sitting patiently on vegetation and seizing insects that wander by. Taczanowskia spiders in general are ghosts. Specimens are extremely rare, and nearly everything known about the behavior comes from a single paper published in 1981. Photos of the yet unidentified Taczanowskia waska were uploaded to iNaturalist, where it was identified by the public as a member of the Taczanowskia genus, and it did not match any known species, which was later confirmed by the other authors of the paper. Taczanowskia waska is a small spider, a little under a centimeter long. Its color is pale and speckled. Tufts of white hair bristle across its back. Its legs are almost translucent, and rising from the top of its abdomen are two long, slender, pale tubercles, soft, unsclerotized cuticle that are responsible for most of the mimicking. Those tubercles are the same shape, length, and color as the fruiting bodies of Gibellula fungi as they burst from an infected host. The fuzzy white bristles across the spider's abdomen look like mycelium, or the thread-like growth of a fungus spreading through tissue. The yellow hairy zones at the base of the tubercles mimic the denser mycelial pads where Gibellula anchors itself to its victim. Even the translucent legs, when pulled in close, disappear against the pale body, like the withered limbs of a spider already long dead. Gibellula fungi belong to the family Cordyceptaceae, the same group that includes the infamous zombie ant fungus, Cordyceps unilateralis. Gibellula, however, specializes in spiders. Its spores adhere to a passing arachnid, germinate, and send threads inward through the exoskeleton. The fungus consumes the spider from within, then erupts outward in the form of distinctive stalks, releasing more spores to find more hosts. The waska forest is rich in these fungi, and at least one is a Gibellula species with the precise white mycelium and yellow protuberance look that Taczanowskia waska resembles. Physical mimicry is only half the trick, though. Taczanowskia waska also acts the part. A fungus-killed spider does not scuttle. It hangs limply from the underside of a leaf, where the overhanging surface shields the fruiting bodies from heavy rain and falling debris. The spider found was in exactly that pose, upside down on the underside of a leaf, tubercles hanging towards the forest floor, its egg sac suspended nearby in a scrap of irregular web. Most predators would not see through that act. Birds, lizards, and other visual hunters of spiders avoid fungus-infected prey. The corpse is spore-laden, often toxic, and offers little nutrition. The other benefit is that Taczanowskia are ambush predators. A fly that has learned to avoid spiders may see no reason to avoid a dead fungus-riddled husk. Excitingly, the authors using iNaturalist also found photos of other orb-weaving spiders in other parts of the world that look similar. A mysterious araneid from Vietnam, a Mastophora species from the Atlantic forest of coastal Brazil, an undescribed acantharachne from Uganda, and an Exocentris from Madagascar. Each of these spiders carries the same telltale features: pale, fluffy abdomens, stalked protuberances, postures mimicking infected hosts. Each came from a region where Gibellula also grows. The Cordyceps disguise may not be a freak one-off. It may be an evolutionary solution that multiple lineages of orb weavers on at least 3 continents have developed independently. The authors do not claim all 4 of those other cases as confirmed, but the pattern is worth further investigation.